Raynor Massage it's life-changing, and it will change your life. You will change other people's lives, and you are at the beginning. It's just going to be the start of your journey. You know, hurting people, it just looks dramatic.
Yeah.
It looks scary, but it's not scary.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's healing. And people are going to be very grateful.
Hi everyone and welcome at Raynor Massage Worldwide podcast. And today we have Jim with us. So I went to do a Raynor advanced course with Brandon, and this is where I met Jim. And today we decided to have an interview because his story is actually quite interesting, because his background is quite different from a lot of people that want to learn Raynor Massage. Hi Jim.
Hi Lily, how are you?
I'm good. How are you feeling?
Good, really good. Good to see your smiling face again.
Yeah, such a long time we haven't spoke. Cool. So maybe, Jim, if you want to bring us back to actually when you started your own business, because for some people, it's actually quite hard to think like, oh, I can start a business as a massage therapist or even have people working for me. So maybe if you want to tell us how it all started.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a slightly strange story. I decided that I wanted to open a business on the Central Coast because I was sick of traveling to Sydney and Newcastle all the time. And at the time, I was training in Muay Thai, Thai boxing. And so I had an affinity with Thai. I was also a soccer player, footballer, and I injured my cruciate ligament. And it was in my 10th season, and I desperately wanted to get back for the final season. So I went to every healer that I could find in Sydney, Central Coast, Newcastle, and the most effective therapist that I came across was a Thai lady. Quite brutal, but incredible. So then I decided that Thai massage was the best modality out there. Therefore, I decided I was going to open a Thai massage shop. Yeah, I was actually going to open a cafe as well, but didn't end up doing that. So I opened the first Thai massage shop in 2013. And originally, I didn't really work in it. I just managed it. I put in a manager, and I would just come in and supervise every now and then, make sure everything was running smoothly. And then after a few years, I already knew how to massage. I started working on clients if we were too busy.
Right.
Everyone was booked out. Yeah, I'd maybe jump on the odd one here and there.
Yeah.
And I started learning more and more. And then I did a Thai massage course and a myofascial course as well. And so by this stage, I was pretty proficient, consider myself a good therapist. But we was looking to improve. And I was aware of Brandon Raynor just through his videos on YouTube. But I always considered them just a little bit hardcore. I'm like, wow, these techniques are so good, but I couldn't do that in the shop. And then I started talking to him, just chatting a little bit every now and then. When I'd see a video and it would pique my interest, so I might send him a message and have a little chat. And then COVID hit. So, okay, we've got to shut down. What am I going to do? And I was already talking to Brandon. He said, do my online course. And if you don't rate it, if you don't get anything out of it, I'll give you your money back. Okay, no worries. What have I got to lose?
Yeah.
And we're already in lockdown at this stage. So I'm like, yeah, okay, what am I going to do? So started doing the course. And I remember the first day, I think one of the first videos, he's massaging the bald-headed guy that did a video with you. I think he's another Canadian or Hawaiian. And the guy's, this massive release.
Yeah.
My wife's like, what the hell are you watching? I don't know what she thought I was watching, but it wasn't good. I said, come and have a look, come and have a look. So she's watching this videos of this guy's massive releases. And she's like, and you're going to do that to customers, are you? I said, I don't know, let's see. We'll see what happens, you know. And then I went on and did the course. I can't remember how long it took me to complete, but during lockdown, you know, plenty of hours to concentrate. So I did the course, and the first thing that struck me was, whoa, this is totally different. There's like a spiritual element to this, which I'd never really seen in massage before. If someone presented with a sore shoulder, traditionally you just smash that area, you know, and yeah, that's the way that it works. Freeze it up for a day or two, and then you're back to square one. So this was very different, the energy pathways and everything like that. People were still crying out for massage, but we were in lockdown. What could we do? And the first one that I worked on, and she booked an hour and a half. She ended up staying 2 hours, and the last, I'd never really massaged someone's face before I did the Raynor course. And the last half hour, so she extended to 2 hours, I just did her face. And as I'm massaging her face, the tears are just rolling. She's not making any noise, just the tears rolling down her face. And I'd only ever made one person massage with cry with traditional massage before. So this was quite interesting for me. And also she was having this massive energy release, and I had no control because I'd never done this before. I'd only done it online, you know?
Yeah.
So my hands are shaking from her energy, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Anyway, at the end of it, I said to her, take your time getting up. You might feel a bit lightheaded, you know? And I sort of staggered out of the room myself, because it was my first ever Raynor massage.
Wow.
She took about 15 minutes to come out of the room and was like, you know, still crying and emotional. And I'm like, wow, I'm hooked.
Did you use the tool? Did you use the tool when you've done the massage on her? And
Yeah.
you already did it?
Yeah, I use tools. But even just holding
Yeah.
the face in various points, like we learned, and just feeling the energy is just like, wow, this is groundbreaking, really, to be honest.
Did she come back?
No.
No. So you don't know what happened to
I
her?
don't think she needed to. But she may have with one of the girls, but she didn't specifically ask for me.
Yeah.
But I do have many people that specifically ask for me now. But also, being my first Raynor massage, I probably didn't do the greatest job anyway.
Yeah.
You're learning all the time.
Yeah. And it's quite funny because sometimes they leave and you don't really hear from them, and suddenly you have someone saying like, oh, this person told me to come to see you because you're doing
Yes,
like,
so many times. And you wonder about, oh, did I fix that person?
Yeah.
And then another person will come 12 months later.
Yeah.
And they say, my friend told me to come and see you.
Yeah.
But they've already said to them, it's pretty painful what he does. Because as you know, I'm a little bit more yang than yin. I need to control that. So sometimes I'm maybe trying to force it a little bit, but it is painful anyway, and people have a lot of stuck pain.
Yeah.
So I had another lady, and she said, it's the best massage I've ever had in my life, but it's also the most painful. So this lady's gone, no, I'm not going there. And then a second person recommended that she come and saw us. So she finally bit the bullet and came in. But I've also noticed that some people, you can literally fix them after one visit. Sometimes it might be 2, could be 3 times. And then literally they don't need to come and see you again.
Yeah, that's right. Or they won't come for a certain time, and then they will come again when they feel like there is another layer to come out. Don't know if you have that, but Oh, wow. So that's quite a story. Yeah. And did you practice on your staff? Did you do any Raynor massage on them?
Yeah, practice on the staff, practice on the family first.
Yeah.
And they were all very skeptical. At the beginning.
Yeah.
Not now. But practice on the staff. And then, as I say, because we were still in lockdown, I was weeks between helping another person. And then we reopened. We were one of the first shops to reopen. We had to jump through a few hoops. Even the shopping centres on the Central Coast, the massage shops were still shut. But at this stage, no one really knew what was going on with COVID. So half the staff were scared. They wouldn't come back to work. So we shut one shop and just funneled everyone into the newest shop. Yeah. And we were booked out every hour of every day. I had to shut an hour early just so the girls weren't completely dead from the work that we were doing, because all the tradies were working harder than they ever had, and all the health professionals. So those people would come in, literally crawl through the door and then walk out an hour and a half later. This is just a Thai massage, feeling fantastic. And then, I would jump on the odd one here and there, honing my Raynor skills.
So that's just from the
This is just from the online.
Course. Wow.
Yeah. And then after that, I went down to see Art.
Yeah.
Who you've met. And that was because I felt like I already knew a lot about Brandon already, even though I hadn't met him physically. So I thought I'll just get a different perspective. So I went and trained with Art. Amazing man. And learned so much. And then came back and I was just like, fully into it. I remember one of the first breakthrough moments. So previously, as I said, someone would present with a bad shoulder or a neck, and you would work on the shoulder and the neck. Whereas with Raynor Massage, I'd release the hand, then work my way up through the joints, through the wrist, through the elbow, up into the shoulder, then the neck. The very first time I did it, I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Tested the shoulder, it's completely loose. And I was like, yes. I didn't let the customer know, but I was like, wow, this really works. Then after that, that was it. Hook, line, and sinker. I'm into it.
Wow. And so how long did it take you between doing the online course and doing the level 2 and 3 with Art?
Probably about 6 months.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah. So it was quite fast, yeah.
Yeah.
And doing, so what would be the, what is the advantage of doing it, from the online to do it in person with a teacher? What did you gain from that?
Well, it's totally different. When you're doing the online course, you're getting an overview of everything, but you're not really understanding the depth that you should be working. You're not understanding connecting with people. That's the most important thing. And I remember when I first massaged with you, after that, I had this, I'm good. And I first started massaging you. After a couple of minutes, you turned around and you said, no, told me off. He said, I don't trust you. You're not connecting with me. I don't feel that you're massaging me properly, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa, okay, focus, and then boom, I was into it.
Yes.
So that's what you can't learn from an online course.
Yes, you're right. It's only by practicing and also receiving, I think it's very important.
100%.
Yeah.
So when we did the advanced course and you work 2 hours, so 2 hours on you, and then you work 2 hours on me, you're learning a lot.
Yeah.
The one thing with the online course, you're not gauging on what I noticed that all of us did. Not all of us, there was a couple that were different, but most of us, and even the experienced practitioners, we were tending to try and force things too much. So we were, okay, there's pain here, let's get rid of it, rather than slowly working through at the person's level so that they're not in pain. And I'm still guilty of that sometimes now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're always learning, and everyone is so different each time. It's a lot of adaptation, and wow.
And also,
And
obviously, an online course, you're not going to see the emotional release that customers get.
Mm.
So I went through a stage where I was making most customers cry.
yeah.
And the staff are like, boss, what are you doing? Why are these people crying? I don't know. I don't understand it. Just put my hands on them and they start crying.
Mm. Wow. Yeah. And do you have treatment where actually people feel better and looser, but without any emotional release?
Yeah, much. Yeah, I do a lot. Now, I'm not going for the emotional release so much now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before it was something new for me, so it was almost like a reward, like a rat trying to get his rewards. If I could get an emotional release from someone, I'm like, wow, that's exciting. Whereas now I'm not chasing that. I'm just trying to fix the problem.
Yeah, I love that because what you're saying is actually, yeah, I reflect so much on that. Like in my mind, for so long, I thought like if the person didn't have any emotional release, I've done something wrong.
Mm.
And when actually people at the end was like, wow, okay, like things changing and shifting, but it's more subtle and the
Yeah,
pain is gone. And I
yeah,
don't know why I was so hooked into this idea of, you need to cry and then you'll feel better.
yeah,
No.
yeah. It's not necessary, but it is like it's entertaining is not the right word, but
Yeah.
it's entertaining for us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess we feel that we're doing something,
Yeah,
that something is happening when actually a lot can happen without the person talking, I guess.
100%.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will have the emotional release afterwards, or when they're driving home, or the next day.
Yeah.
So after every customer, I tell them just a few things that may happen, that they may have an emotional release. 90% of the time that they will. That they're going to go to the toilet more than normal, that they're going to sleep really well. And this is just anecdotal feedback that people give me. They tell me this happened.
Yeah.
And also their appetites are affected. So either they
Oh,
can't stop eating, or often they don't want to eat for the rest of the
oh,
day.
interesting. I never
Mm,
heard that one. The sleeping, yeah, they always sleep like babies.
yeah,
It's like, oh my God, I had the best ever sleep in my life. It's
yeah,
so funny.
yeah. But I had some people from a ashram, a
Uh-huh.
local ashram. A lady came in all dressed in white. I didn't think anything of it. She's Kiwi, and I massaged her, fully clothed, no oil, and she went. A few weeks later, another lady came in all dressed in white, and she said, "Oh, you massaged my friend. She was dressed the same as me." Oh yeah, yeah, I remember her. So I treated her, and then she came back a couple of days later, and I said, "How did you go? How did you feel?" Said the overwhelming feeling I got was I was emotional all week. Okay, that's great. That's just your body healing and letting go.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is the key with this technique. Um, what we were talking before we start the recording, that we need to be ready and to be true to ourselves to do this type of treatment because we're exposed and very vulnerable.
Hmm. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Did you, like I know that Brandon calls the red light the yellow and the green light. How do you speak with people that are yellow or red light, which are a bit more uh, in defense?
Yeah, I don't really subscribe to the red yellow
Yeah,
light. Everyone gets everyone gets it, to be honest.
that's
So
right.
some people, most people, because our massage is fairly hardcore anyway, we're considered like best therapists on the coast. So we're getting people that have problems anyway. So not many people come in for a relaxation massage, maybe 5%.
Right.
So even with those ones, the thing is when your skills get to a certain level, you can feel the energetic problems. I can't see energy, but I can feel it. So when I'm working on someone's limbs, I'm basically testing as I'm working along. I can feel, okay, this is blocked. They're blocked in this hand, and I'll work along it. So even if you're just using, so this part of the hand is the healing part of the hand. Anyway, just for anyone watching, I know you obviously you know Lily, but if someone came in and asked for a relaxation massage, so I'm just going like that, I can still feel it. So it's very hard not to like have a bit of a prod. And 80% of people then go and say, oh, you've got a problem there. Do you want me to fix it? Oh, yes, please. So suddenly they've gone from coming, they want to sleep for an hour to actually getting their problem fixed. It's a journey for them as for me as well. And also with people, I'll ask them, have you ever done any breath work? Have you ever done any yoga? Do you do any meditation? And if they say yes, then to me that's a green light anyway. So as soon as they say that, I'll stop doing the breathing. Now my style is probably like a light version of Raynor Massage anyway, because I'm in a professional environment with just curtains. I can't really be making people scream and with the breath side of things. Yeah. So I'm almost like Raynor Light, but that's still Raynor Light is still technically light years ahead of any other massage that you're going to get in any shopping centre or any remedial massage. Like if I live 3 minutes away from the major Westfield shopping centre, and so I'll massage there. If I'd work in the yard, I'll go and have a massage there. Half the time I end up massaging the massage therapist afterwards, just for 10 minutes, just to show them some techniques.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then what's this? It's called Raynor Massage. So yeah, there's dozens of Chinese people that now know a little bit about Raynor Massage.
That's fantastic. That's so good. I think any massage therapist should learn the basic of Raynor Massage. It would improve so much.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Wow. And so from doing that, because I guess you've been able to release some of your own baggage, how did that impact your practice?
That's a interesting and a difficult question as well. I'm trying to, because I already have a successful business, I don't want to change things too much. But I also want to improve the technical ability of all of my staff. So it got to, when I first started doing Raynor, and after I did the advanced course, when I come back, I'm teaching them all things that I've learned. So I'm trying to teach my staff extra skills as well. They're already highly skilled, but they're a little bit afraid of it because they've never learned it from the beginning. They're just learning it from boss. And some of them will embrace it, but some of them, they're a little bit scared of it. But they will also ask me to come in and fix one of their customers if they have a specific problem that can't be fixed. So they'll say, oh, can you bring the chopsticks, boss? In we go. But I'll also, sometimes after a customer's had a massage, they'll come out. My question is all the time, how was your massage? Oh, fantastic. The girls are the best, blah, blah, blah. What was wrong? Oh, sore neck. It's better, but it's not 100%. Oh, okay, can I just hold your hand for a second? I learned that from art. So then I'll work on their hands for 5 minutes. And yeah, that's it. They're back. They're hooked.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really good because you are working with your staff and all together and in hand and helping each other.
Exactly. So sometimes the staff will say to a customer, oh, you need to see my boss. He does energy work, Raynor Massage, and I'll give them a treatment. And sometimes people just get me by bad luck for them, I guess, which usually ends up being good luck. You just have to go through a little bit of pain. Yeah, and sometimes, I don't know, it's weird the way things work, you know, organically. People will say that they, some strange things. People will say that they meditated, and in their meditation, they were told to go to East Cross for Thai massage. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. I think it's amazing, like the way I hear how you are doing your business. It's like, you know, like the way every businesses should do is helping each other, being in support and being the boss, but at the same time being at the same level as everyone. I'm just blown away. I think it's beautiful to hear that and very inspiring. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Probably now I think about it, probably one of the reasons that people are meditating is saying that is because I do post stuff on social media. So I might go onto a group that has 80,000 people in the group and post something about the work that we do. So maybe the people read that, and it's in their subconscious, and then they meditate and whatever. And it's like, I've got to go and see these guys. It's just self-perpetuating.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a good way of doing it. Wow.
But also, thanks to Raynor Massage, I'm now at the stage where, and again, I don't want to sound arrogant because that's the last thing that you need to be when you're trying to do this work. But I'm at the stage now where I can fix people that physiotherapists can't fix. And that just makes you want to learn more and more and more.
Well, there are limits in any techniques. And what I believe is that we're attracted to the right therapist, and yeah, we can try different you know, physiotherapists, osteopaths, and it will work for some or not. I think it's about being ready to actually let go, because I don't know, I've seen in Raynor Massage some people that were not ready to let go, and you can work as hard and as much with your heart as you can. When the person doesn't want to, it will be really hard to go beyond. So I think that's
100%.
Yeah.
I did have one customer walk out on me. So that was an interesting story. So I literally think she was a tiny little Asian lady, came in with her Aussie husband, and I think she just wanted to be stroked for an hour and a half. So, but I found tension in her body and I wanted to release it. But after I released one arm and I came back to her shoulder, it's gone. I'm like, oh, how fantastic. Came to do the other hand, she was out of it. So that's when I should have been asking about green lights.
Well, or maybe
she was a red light.
Yeah, well, it's a seed that has been planted, and who knows, in a couple of years, you might come back and say, bloody hell, whatever you did to me, do it again.
That's true.
Often it takes a bit of time to say, actually, that was actually good. Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess that was my fault. I wasn't really listening to what the client wanted. I was doing what I wanted or what I felt that they needed. So yeah, always listen to the customer.
Yeah, communication is a big one. It's really hard because sometimes people are polite and they don't tell you when it's too much. And
we did have a language barrier.
Yeah, with the language, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, it's how we learn, isn't it?
Exactly.
What did you gain when you've done the advanced course compared to I know that it was different because it was with art and it was the beginning with level 2 and 3, but what was the biggest difference in the advanced course that you've seen?
The biggest difference in the advanced course was the fact that you're working with experienced practitioners. I already consider myself, when I went there, not being arrogant, but I considered myself quite good. And then when I was in the class, I'm like, am I worthy? Am I worthy? You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, these people know more than me. These people are more advanced than me. I've got to learn. So that was a great thing. the fact that we were working for such a long period. So when Brandon worked on me, for example, he said to me, "What is the sorest part of your body?" My right hand, because I don't really, because I like to feel. I don't really use my elbows. I just use my hands, mate. So they get pretty sore. So Brandon worked on my right hand for 2 hours, basically from my fingertip up into the shoulder a little bit, but basically just in the hand, forearm, 2 hours. And that was incredible. That was insane. The release that I got from that. So yep, just working with experienced practitioners, having to improve my level to be at other people's level, having to fine tune my skills, having yourself and another practitioner tell me that I wasn't tuned in to them, and in both cases I wasn't. Learning from Brandon about, and this might sound a bit for people watching for the first time. So talking about sending white light into people, you know what I mean? So if someone's watching this, they're probably thinking, what the hell are they talking about? But now I often do that. I will try and do it all the time. But I also lay hands on. I'm seeing a lot of light going on with people as well. And I can sometimes get a certain, I don't know if it's frequency because I've never learned that, but I get a certain light pattern. And when I can get that pattern, I'm healing at a higher level. So I'll say to people, what do you feel? Just so peaceful.
That's pretty cool. Because
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients telling me like, yeah, during a session, they have a lot of different colors, but I don't see them. So it's quite interesting that you are saying that. Yeah.
I've always seen the colors, but yeah, certain colors, well, that means you're in the zone. And you'll often get people that do yoga, meditation, or are spiritual people. You get a lot more going on as well. I guess they're already open a little bit as well. And you can just tune in. I actually had one last week, and she came back yesterday fixing her foot. She got a basketball injury. And we worked pretty deeply with the chopsticks, and it was quite painful for her. But at the end of it, I just held her foot for a couple of minutes, and I was seeing the certain light sequence and certain colors. And then afterwards, I said, "How did you feel?" She goes, "Well, I had a unique experience today." I said, "What was that?" I said, "When you were just holding my foot, when you actually stopped hurting me, I could see these lights in my head. I've never seen that." I said, "Oh yeah, what did you see?" And she told me the three colors that she saw was the three colors that I saw. So we fully synced in. I've never had that before. I was telling you the other week that there's a lot of strange things happen all the time. You'll see these occurrences as you learn more and more and more. And remember, I'm just doing Raynor light.
Yeah, but it shows how powerful
Yes.
and beyond any conventional
Yes.
massage Raynor is. It's not only the physical, it's what I love so much when Brandon, all his courses, it's not about learning by heart the name of this muscle, of these tendons or whatever. It's really about feeling and trusting and go with the flow. And that's really what I love with this technique. It's you really trust your intuition.
100%. It's intuition, it's feeling.
Yeah, and the more you go into that, the deeper I don't know, it's like, as you say, you tune in and you become in sync with the other person, and it is when things incredible happening.
Yeah. There is a spiritual element to this. So some people that do Raynor massage, they're going to be technically very proficient. And they're still going to get really good results. But if you allow your heart to open, you're going to really, really get good results.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because it's not all practitioners that like talking about that, but I reckon we should talk more about it because it's a big component. And I do believe that more and more people are open to this type of work. I don't know if you've seen that, but a lot of my clients, you know, we're talking about the yellow or red light, but actually often people are red light because you don't give them the time to speak. So often I will give them an example of things that I've seen, that I've felt, or that I've experienced. And then suddenly people say, oh yeah, I remember I've done this course, or I remember I had this experience. And suddenly they realize that they are so much more than the physical body. There are so many more people open to this, to that, but they are not aware yet. So I think it's very important to talk about this spiritual component. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I first started doing it 4 years ago, when my existing customers would say, "What's this that you're doing, Jim?" I'd say, I'd make a joke, just some hippie shit. Don't worry about it. Tell me if it works. And then that's so good. And then they would send their friends in, and they would literally say their friends would come in with a smile and say, "Oh, can you do the hippie shit that you did for so and so?" Yeah, yeah, I'll do the hippie shit. And so at the beginning, I just thought it was like, yeah, but I knew it worked, but I didn't understand it, and I wasn't really open to it. And now I'm like, yeah, give me more information.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Even just working in people's, so I do, art taught me Qigong, just basically, and I do that every day, walk the dog, and it just lifts my energy and allows me to move other people's energy as well. So that's a really good thing. So working people's energy, like Raynor Massage, is energy healing, even though we don't talk of it as energy healing. It's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely agree. But using the tools and going to the tip of the toes or the fingers, it's really the magic of it. It's like the key to a big door of
Yeah.
things.
So when someone comes into the shop and they're waiting for one of the girls, I'm usually at reception, sitting on the computer doing some work. And if they say they've got a problem, I'm out of the seat, into their hands. Yeah, you got a problem here, work along. It's magic. Literally, it's magic.
What would you say to, because there are quite a few people that have done the online course, but they stopped at the online course and then they started to go toward new modalities, I guess. So what would you tell to someone who've done the online course but stops? What would you tell them for them to keep going and try to do level 2 and 3 with a teacher?
Well, 100%. I mean, if you did the online course, you're already at the start of the journey, and it's a mistake not to keep going forward. Do the next step, because I put it, Raynor Massage is, and where it's going to lead you is life changing. I wish I'd done it 15 years ago. 100%. So I recommend everybody do that course. After you've done that course, if it's not for you, walk away, do something else. Your skills will be vastly improved above the level of a normal massage practitioner anyway. Like I would put my skills against any, thank you to Raynor and also energy work. I consider I would pit myself against any massage therapist on the Central Coast.
Wow. Yeah. That shows how
And
powerful it can be.
that's not being arrogant.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not my style. But
Yeah.
I am confident. And I see the results. They're like, when I used to massage traditionally, you don't see those results. You might fix one or two people, or someone comes in with a headache and you fix them. That's great. But on a daily basis, customer after customer after customer, you're sending them away. Literally, sometimes you can fix a chronic problem they've had for 6 months. You can fix it in 1 or 2 visits. And they've been everywhere. They've been to naturopaths. They've been to chiropractors. They've been to physio. Obviously, the doctor doesn't do much. And then they come and they get a Raynor massage. It's an energy work. Bang, they're good. Pain's gone. Emotional pain's gone.
That's the thing, and it goes beyond the physical pain and fixing a problem at the physical level. It's even emotional. Uh, it goes so far. Like, I'm sure you had some clients telling you that how much it improved their relationship with their partner or spouse, how much
And their kids.
yes,
Not,
the kids.
they're not
Yes,
angry at the kids anymore.
that's right. That is that, and that I heard that so many times, like how much, over, and they come only once and then they come back like 6 months or a year in after, and then they tell you like, oh yeah, it improved so much. And like, I have really cool stories too about that. It's just like, do you have one you want to share? Maybe someone you remember that had a big improvement in their lives?
Oh, so many. But I'll tell you one that I'll tell you a couple. The first one was a lady probably in her late 50s, maybe 60. And she came in on the weekend. I don't work weekends. And she was quite emotional. They'd just moved to the Central Coast, and her husband had early onset dementia and was going to have to go into a home. So she came in and got a massage, and she got emotional and was talking to our receptionist. And she said, "Oh, you need to see my boss. He does a different type of massage." Okay. So she booked in. I saw her. When I first started working on her, I couldn't touch her in the chest. So here, I couldn't touch her. And I just did a bit of tapping across here. And then I did the work through her hands, feet, rocking. And then by the end of it, I think it was just 1 hour. By the end of it, I could work quite deeply in her chest. The pain had gone. She came back again, same thing. So 3 times. By the third time, she was completely, the tension had gone. She was happy. She was no longer emotional. And then a week or two later, I'm doing the banking in the main street, and this lady called out, "Jim, Jim." I didn't recognize her. I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh," she said, "Oh, it's so and so." Oh, I said, "I didn't recognize you." Literally, she looked 10 years younger.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Whoa, okay, that's cool." Then the next one I'm going to tell you is in the other shop. This lady came in. She was an older lady in her 70s, and she has Parkinson's. So I treated her. It was very painful for her. And when I was doing her face at the end, I remember looking at her and thinking, this lady's going to die soon. Sounds quite dramatic.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wow, she's going to die. She was in such a bad way. Now, she still comes to see me once a week for maybe it's been a year and a half now. She's in her early 70s. She looks like she's about 65 now.
Wow.
And I don't know if they've changed the medication, but she's not as shaky as she used to be. She used to fully shake on the table, totally different now. That's another one that's very, very interesting. Over hundreds of stories. If you didn't see it from my eyes, you wouldn't believe it. This is why I say, take that next step.
Mm. Yes, yes, that's right. I love that, and thank you for sharing those stories and push people to go forward, because it's definitely a technique that, yeah, any practitioner should learn. Honestly, that's
Yeah, 100%. So now I've got some of the staff, they'll use tools now in their hands and the feet. So they're learning slowly, but they're resistant. But these are skilled Thai practitioners.
Yeah.
But they won't do any of the breath work.
what is great with Raynor massage, it's a technique that we can fit other technique in. It's not like, you know, I learned that and I have to be a Raynor massage therapist. No, it's actually whatever you've learned. So if you have like a prone to Thai massage, where that can, you know, I've learned craniosacral therapy and I include that in my therapy, and I love the mix of it. So yeah, I think it's what is great with Raynor. Like we can really include that with any other techniques.
Yes, 100%. It's just giving you extra tools.
That's
and
right.
very sharp. So I would say that if you're a person that's watching this and considering that you wouldn't mind doing some massage therapy, Raynor massage is it's life changing, and it will change your life. You will change other people's lives, and you are at the beginning. It's just going to be the start of your journey
Yeah.
to be not just a massage therapist, actually a healer. You can heal people.
What would you say to people that are a bit worried to hurt people? You know, like, because when you were watching Brandon's channel at the beginning, like, wow, that looks amazing, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to go at this level.
Yeah.
So what would you tell actually to people that now you've experienced it and you also gave this type of massage to others?
About being scared of hurting people.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to be hurting anybody because once you learn the techniques, you're not hurting people. It just looks dramatic.
Yeah.
It looks scary, but it's not scary.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's healing. And people are going to be very grateful.
Yeah.
It's very important that we help, because if we don't help people, who's going to help them?
It's beyond the pain. It's not a pain. It's you are in another level. It's really hard to explain.
It is, because what we're talking about is quite esoteric.
Yeah.
It is hard to put into words until you start doing it.
Yeah.
So there's the answer for people watching this video. Start. Don't be afraid. Make the step. It's not going to be for everyone, but it's going to be for a lot of you, and you'll be grateful that you did it.
Mm.
Extremely grateful to Brandon that he's taken all of that wisdom and distilled it into something pretty simple that everyone can learn and then expand on.
Wow. Thank you so much for all those insights.
No worries.
What are your next goals? Do you have anything coming up? Anything you want to share?
I'm not sure I want to share them, to be honest, because it sounds out there. But yeah, I want to continue learning energy healing. Obviously, Brandon is a mentor, but I also listen to people like Donna Eden, Caroline Miss, the fella that you told me about. His name is Joe Dispenza, Wayne Dyer, Dr. Wayne Dyer. These are all people that everyone should be reading and learning from. But going forward, yeah, I would like to, I don't know if it'll ever happen because I'm getting on a bit, but I would like to get to the stage where I can heal people that have chronic illness. That's my dream.
Why is that?
Shouldn't it be everybody's goal? Because you think that you have a chronic illness and you go to the doctor. What's the doctor going to tell you to do? He's going to give you, he's either going to tell you to have an injection, pain-killing injection, which will just mask the pain for a few months, or they're going to give you painkillers, or they're going to tell you you need an operation. I've seen hundreds of people that have been told they need operations, myself included, that haven't had operations and didn't need them. My sister included. Many people who don't need them. Sometimes you do. I've also worked on some people that I couldn't correct, and when I've seen them after they've had an operation, we're talking structurally, their body gets so much better. But I'm talking about sickness in the body.
Yeah.
That's eventually I want to be able to heal that for people. Whether I'll ever get there, I don't know. That's my goal. And thank you to Brandon for setting me on that path.
it's beautiful how life unravel things at the right time.
Yeah, very much so. And as I say, I used to box, so I didn't have the hippie upbringing. I've seen the other side of life, so I wasn't a spiritual person, but my eyes are open now.
Well, thank you so much for opening your heart and speaking your truth. It's very powerful and very needed. So thank you for that. And I hope we're going to do another interview one of those days too, because yeah, I really loved it. It was really, really good insights and lots of great ideas. And
Beautiful. All right, well, you have a wonderful day.
all right, thank you.